A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone, welcome to A+ English. I am Pat.
And I'm Kat.
So Kat, I'm trying to remember, I think you lived and worked somewhere else before Taiwan, is that right?
That's right. I used to live and work in Korea for a little while.
Okay. Did you have any culture shocks while you were there?
Absolutely. I think people in Korea are very, very concerned about the way that they look. So even to go out of your house for a short trip to the convenience store, almost every girl will put on nice clothes and makeup.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rather than just whatever's closest, I walk to the store.
Yeah.
That's it.
It made me feel a little bit pressured to look good all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. The only place I've lived for long enough was Scotland. And of course, Scotland is different. It's just different enough from England that there are a few things that just kind of stop you and make you think, oh, that's how you do it here.
Okay, like what?
Well, for one thing, and this was a good thing, their bars were open later than in England at the time, so we could be a bit more comfortable. But in their fish and chip shops, they had completely different things to put on the fish and chips. They had something just called sauce. You weren't really sure what it was. It wasn't quite ketchup. It wasn't quite brown sauce. It was something in the middle. So you just asked for salt and sauce.
Strange. Was it like Worcester sauce?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
I've never really been able to work out what it was, but that took me by surprise for a little while in Scotland. So yeah, even though it's next door to England, there are still enough differences that you can suddenly kind of wonder, oh, what's going on here? And that is culture shock. That's what we're talking about today. Let's read through the article and find out what Simon is going to encounter this time.
Culture shock! Simon versus the squat toilet.
Simon and Lucia are walking in a park.
It's a lovely day today.
Yeah, it's nice, but...
Is something wrong?
I need to use the loo.
There are some toilets over there.
Thank goodness for that.
Lucia is waiting for Simon. He comes out looking unhappy.
That was quick. Is everything okay?
There are only squat toilets in there.
Oh, so you need to...
Yes, I need to poo. But I can't use the squat toilet. I can't balance. Why does Taiwan have so many?
People say they're good for your system. Also, it means you don't need to touch public toilets with your skin.
I can't do it. Let's just go home.
Word power!
Lovely. Lovely. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. Touch. Touch. Don't touch that picture. The paint is still wet. Don't touch that picture. The paint is still wet. Public. Public. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. Skin, skin. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever.
认识字汇
Squat toilet. Balance.
Okay, so we start the article and we see that Simon and Lucia are walking in a park.
Okay.
Everything's fairly normal.
Sounds like a very normal day in Taipei. You'd want to take a walk in a park. And Lucia says, it's a lovely day today. Oh, so we start out basically talking about the weather, kind of. Well, here's our first vocab word, our first word power word. It is lovely. Yeah, and the lovely is spelled L-O-V-E-L-Y. So it's like love with a L-Y at the end, and it's an adjective. Lovely. Let's find out what it means. This word lovely sounds a little bit like love because it's actually based on love. So as an adjective, it means very nice or something is very pleasant. If we're saying the weather is lovely or the day is lovely, it's a lovely day, it means it's a beautiful day. It's a pleasant day. It feels good outside. It makes you feel comfortable and happy. We will often say this about people's homes as well. If you're visiting somebody's house for the first time, you might compliment them by saying, you have a lovely home. Or if you say someone is a lovely person, it means they're very nice to be around. Or if you say someone's clothing, like a dress is lovely, that means it's very beautiful. So lovely could be very nice, very beautiful, very pleasant, very good things like that. So here's an example sentence for you. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. All right, so yeah, it's a lovely day, and Simon and Lucia are going to the park, but apparently not everything is lovely with Simon.
Not everything is great. Now, we can see in the picture in the magazine, and we can describe it by saying Simon doesn't look comfortable. Maybe something's not quite right. He doesn't feel 100% perfect. But why?
Well, what he says is, yeah, it's nice, but... Oh, that little but always makes it a little bit, what's he going to say next?
What is he going to say? Well, Lucia wants to know, obviously. She asks him, is something wrong?
And what is wrong with Simon? He says, I need to use the loo. Okay, so I guess that's what's going on with Simon.
That's what's going on.
He's feeling uncomfortable because he needs the loo. So
Yeah.
what is a loo?
Well, we'll explain that in just a moment. First, we are going to go to today's magic box.
Magic Box 找亮点。
郑浩吼，毋是一个好心的人。正前我要甲伊离婚，伊无爱，即马吼竟然吼爱着 Coco， 就要甲我离婚。He decided to divorce me。哈，我王妍希，敢是一款凊彩互人欺负的人，伊互我看到，我一定会报仇。英文里面啊，我们知道呢，句子的组成哦，就是呢有助词、动词、受词。比方说呢 ，I bought this bag， 我买了这个包包。I 是主词 ，bought 是动词，而这个包包呢 ，this bag 就是 bought 的受词哦，它是被买下来的东西，它承受了这个动作，所以叫做受词。通常啊，主词跟受词呢都是名词来扮演这样的角色，但是呢，你知道吗？其实呢。不定词也可以扮演这样受词的角色哦。不定词啊，就是 to 后面呢加上原形动词的这个组合了。我们呢都说过了，在一个句子里面不能够有两个动词出现，但是透过呢这个 to 不定词哦，在某些动词后面，我们就可以使用这个不定词的组合来当受词，让两个动词呢都出现在句子里面喽。 听起来很复杂，我们看个例句就知道啦。比方说呢，想当年我们呢也是相爱过的。当年呢，他决定跟我结婚 ，He decided to marry me。他决定呢跟我结婚。可以看到呢，这个 me 就是 marry 的受词。那另外呢，这个不定词片语 to marry me， 这整个片语呢是扮演着这个名词的角色作为动词 decided 的受词OK， 这个呢就是不定词当做受词的用法了。我们呢可以再看一个例句，我现在心情不好，想要找一些事情来转移注意力。I hope to get a job soon。我希望呢能尽快找到工作了。不定词片语呢 to get a job soon， 在这个句子里面呢就作为动词 hope 希望的受词。我希望呢能够尽快找到工作。至于有哪些动词呢可以用不定词当做受词呢？通常是蕴含着呢去做什么事情这样子的意义的动词比方说呢 hope wish 希望呢可以去做什么事情，希望 OK， 或者是呢 want 想要去做什么事情，还有呢 decide 决定去做， plan 计划去做。这些动词呢我们后面呢就可以使用 to 不定词呢加上原形动词来当做受词，很特别的用法，希望呢你也学起来咯。
Alright, so that was all about how to use the loo. Well, what is a loo in the end? So a loo is a noun that is kind of a slang, especially in British English, for a toilet.
That is right. We do say loo. Or lav. Some people say lav. L-A-V, lav. I need to use the lav.
Short for lavatory, right?
That is correct.
Okay. In American English, we wouldn't usually say loo. I think we would find it a little bit funny to say that. But we would say something like restroom or bathroom, which you can't really take a bathroom in a public bath in a public bathroom, but we say it anyway. Or we might say the toilet, you know, it's more generic. The WC, which stands for water closet, or the John.
Yeah, that's, I think, which is possibly named after one of the British kings.
Oh, really?
Very unpopular was King John, so people wanted to use him in that way.
I see.
There we go. So, Simon needs the toilet, basically. We see in the picture that Simon and Lucia are both looking around. They're obviously looking for somewhere that Simon can go.
Yeah, of course, because, I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yes.
So Lucia says, there are some toilets over there.
Okay, which is pretty lucky. Simon appreciates this and says, thank goodness for that. Now, when you say thank goodness, this means what a relief. We say thank goodness to express that we're grateful for something that we've seen or that has happened. We're not thanking a specific person. We're not saying thank you, Kat, thank you, Pat, thank you, someone. We're just saying thank goodness to kind of thank all the good things in the world. And I think the phrase probably comes from thanking God as well for sort of making this thing happen, making this thing be there.
Yeah.
You're just generally thankful.
Yeah, you can also say thank God
Yes.
sometimes. All right, so yeah, she's found a toilet for Simon to use. Lucia is waiting for Simon, so I guess he's gone to the loo to try and use it. But he comes out looking unhappy.
Right.
That's not usual when you use the toilet.
No.
Usually you feel better afterward.
That's the idea, but Lucia says that was quick. And she pauses a little there to kind of say, something's not quite right. That was quick. That means something's wrong. She also asks, is everything okay?
I wonder. Well, Simon says, there are only squat toilets in there.
Oh no!
Oh no! This is one of the biggest pieces of culture shock for both of us here in Taiwan. A squat toilet. So squat toilets, you guys are probably familiar with them. In fact, you might prefer them. A squat toilet is a toilet that's in the floor. You can't sit on it. What you need to do is bend down and squat to use it. So squat is when you bend your knees, but you keep yourself up.
Kind of upright, yes. You don't really bend your back too much, or just a little kind of thing. It's not a sitting kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's actually harder for some people to squat with their feet flat I can't do it.
Yeah, there's a sort of thing here that my wife has tried to explain about foreigners' kind of leg muscles and spines being a bit different to Asian ones. I don't know how true it is, but foreigners do find it very difficult to use a squat toilet. We don't tend to find them in our home countries, so we just don't get used to using them.
Yeah.
So Lucia, we see from the picture, she understands. She kind of understands, okay, Simon has a problem with this. And also, if he needed to use the squat toilet like that but couldn't, that's telling her something. And she says like,
says, oh, so you need to...
Yeah, she's kind of guessing what's going on here. And Simon, he just confirms it. He says, yes, I need to poo.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so poo, this is another piece of British slang. P-O-O, just like that, can be a noun. It can be a verb. Now, a lot of people will call this a poop, P-O-O-P, or to poop, the action.
Yeah.
And it's when the solid waste comes out of your body. Poo is what a lot of British people say very casually for it.
Americans also say it.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
yeah, that's cool. It kind of starts as a childhood word, but people still use it when they grow up.
Yeah.
I think. So there are other names to kind of be polite about it. You can say you need a number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah, a dookie, which is kind of an American English one.
I guess. I think little kids like to say duty.
Duty, okay.
Yeah.
A deuce, which is like a number 2.
Yeah,
So
number
kind
2.
of similar. So anyway, Simon needs to poo. He needs to poop, but...
But I can't use the squat toilet is what he says. I can't balance. So yeah, like we said, some foreigners have trouble with balancing or staying up without falling over when you're doing something like standing on one leg, or if you're trying to squat. Some of us have a lot of trouble with doing that because we can't put our feet flat down. And if we do, we fall over. So you can also talk about objects where you're balancing something, like if you try to balance
holding a ball on your finger,
or holding a bed on your arm and you kind of trying to do this, so he can't balance. He finds the squat toilets really difficult.
He then asks the question that many foreigners ask: why does Taiwan have so many? Why are these toilets everywhere?
Well, Lucia has an answer for him. She says people say they're good for your system. Yeah, okay. So when she says they're good for your system, she means the digestive system in particular. So that's your insides. It's the organs or the guts inside you help you eat and then help you get rid of your food. So it goes mouth, throat, esophagus, stomach, intestines, colon, and bladder, and then it goes out. That's your whole digestive system.
So I guess the position of squatting maybe helps things kind of stay and
straight.
come through and come out.
And that's actually true.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is true. Lucia says another important point about why people prefer squat toilets. She says also it means you don't need to touch public toilets with your skin, which is definitely something we'd rather not do. Now, we've got a few words to check out in this sentence. The first one we're going to look at, the word power word touch, T-O-U-C-H, touch. It's a verb. Let's check it out. To touch means to make physical contact with another thing. So hands, they're touching. There is no gap, there is no air between the two things. I'm touching my watch, I'm touching my arm, I'm touching my clothes. Here's another example. Don't touch that picture, the paint is still wet. Don't touch that picture, the paint is still wet. So Lucia says people don't want to touch a public toilet, okay?
Right.
But what do we mean here?
Well, if you don't want to touch a toilet, usually if you are at home and you're in, your own space, you have your own toilet, that's a different thing. But here we're talking about public toilets. So this is our second word power word in this sentence, and it's spelled P-U-B-L-I-C, public. It's an adjective. Let's find out what that means. if we're talking about something that is public, it means it's something that anybody is available to use. It's not in someone's private house or their private business. Private being the opposite of public, which means that only certain people can use it. So public things and public facilities include things like parks or public transportation like the MRT or the bus. Government buildings are also usually public, which means people can come in and go out as they like to. Of course, things like toilets and health services are also public. Now, if you're talking about using the same toilet as a lot of different people, you can see why you wouldn't want to touch public things if your skin. So here's another example of public. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. All right, so if we're talking about, something being public, like a toilet,
yes.
Of course you don't really
want to... Who else has been using it?
Ugh. And that's probably why you don't want to touch it with your skin.
That is right. Now, what do we mean when we say skin? We're going to take a look at it because that is another word power in this sentence.
Wow.
Skin, S-K-I-N, skin is a noun. So here we go again for the word power. So our skin is the outer part of our body and it helps us keep our shape. It helps hold the inside bits in. It protects us from the outside world and so on. Our skin is actually an organ and it's made up of several different layers, so different parts of your skin. Here's an example of how we can use it. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever. Okay, so from all that sentence, if we remember our situation, Simon is asking about these squat toilets, but he's saying he can't use it. He can't balance on it to do his poo. And as we see in the picture, Simon is shaking his head. It's just like, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, so, and while he's shaking his head, he says, I can't do it! Let's just go home.
Oh, poor guy.
So
he just wants to kind of call it a day.
Yeah, he wants to give up. I
Well,
guess, you know, squat toilets are too scary for some people.
To be fair, but I mean, come on, Simon, there's got to be even a department store somewhere nearby with a sit-down toilet you can use.
I
But
don't know.
we'll have to find out tomorrow what will happen next. Has the squat toilet won? Find out in day 2, but now it's time for our review time activity.
All right.
Wait for it. It's review time. 复习时间到喽。
Okay, so for today's review time activity, we're going to use some of the word power words from today to ask each other some questions and try and use the words in the right context.
Okay.
So, please describe a lovely meal.
A lovely meal. I think it has to have several different kinds of food. I would like to, let me think. I would like it to have like bread and maybe some, I don't know why I'm thinking of pasta.
Okay.
With some nice sauce and some good vegetables and maybe a glass of wine.
Oh, that does sound lovely. All right, your question for me.
Okay. What is something you should not do in public?
Ooh, you shouldn't do in public. Well, we've mentioned at least one in today's article, a poo. You should not do a poo in public.
Yeah, please don't.
Of course, if you are a very, very small child, these things can happen. Or equally, if you're a very, very old person, then these things could happen. But if you can control it, you should try not to do a poo in public.
That's right.
Okay, so another one of our words was touch. What things are nice to touch?
Animals,
Oh,
like
yeah.
dogs and cats, very fluffy, or some kind of fabric like silk, or something very soft, and maybe good bread. How about
Good
that?
bread. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's nice, kind of spongy but crusty on the outside. Yeah, I like it.
All right, last question. How can we look after our Skin.
Okay, usually here we often mean the skin on our face, but skin on our hands and even everywhere else is important to look after as well.
Of course.
Number one, drink lots of water.
Oh, yes.
That's definitely a big thing. Get plenty of sleep, and you can use different creams, but just washing your face with soap and water will still help your skin look better and stop you getting too many pimples. So
right.
fairly regular washing.
And also wear sunscreen if you go outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today, but join us tomorrow to see part 2 of Simon versus the squat toilet. Who will win?
I don't
See
know.
you then. Bye for now.
Culture shock! Simon versus the squat toilet.
Simon and Lucia are walking in a park.
It's a lovely day today.
Yeah, it's nice, but...
Is something wrong?
I need to use the loo.
There are some toilets over there.
Thank goodness for that.
Lucia is waiting for Simon. He comes out looking unhappy.
That was quick. Is everything okay?
There are only squat toilets in there.
Oh, so you need to...
Yes, I need to poo. But I can't use the squat toilet. I can't balance. Why does Taiwan have so many?
People say they're good for your system. Also, it means you don't need to touch public toilets with your skin.
I can't do it. Let's just go home.
Word power!
Lovely. Lovely. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. Harriet had a lovely picnic with her friends on Saturday. They all enjoyed it very much. Touch. Touch. Don't touch that picture. The paint is still wet. Don't touch that picture. The paint is still wet. Public. Public. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. This is a public garden, so anyone can walk there and see the flowers. Skin. Skin. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever. Your skin feels hot. Maybe you have a fever.
认识字汇
Squat toilet. Balance.